People looking at moving to Vancouver, BC are likely already familiar with how expensive this region is worldwide. Vancouver has the honor of being one of the most livable cities, but also one of the most costly. People who are looking to move to Vancouver without spending $4 million on a single family home would be well advised to consider some of the surrounding cities. The cost of living in Langley, BC is much less than that of the city of Vancouver. What's up, everybody? This is Solomon with the BC Elite Real Estate Group right here in Vancouver, British Columbia. If this is your first time to this channel, we do tons and tons of videos about everything you need to know about working, eating, sleeping, living, and all the different neighborhoods in Vancouver, Fraser Valley, and even all the way to Chilliwack. Make sure to tap the subscribe button, click that little bell so you're notified every time we do a new video. And we're getting tons and tons of phone calls, emails, text messages every single month, and we absolutely love it. So if you're even thinking about moving or relocating here in the Lower Mainland, Fraser Valley or Chilliwack, make sure you give us a call, shoot us a text, or even send us an email. However you want to get a hold of us, we got your back when it comes to moving to Vancouver. With the population just north of 120,000 people and situated approximately 45 kilometers from downtown Vancouver, Langley is a region that is a fantastic place to raise a family. So to understand the cost of living in Langley and how it compares to Vancouver, so we'll look at 10 measures of affordability. So we'll start with rental prices, then head to housing prices, grocery costs, dining costs, especially when you want to go out compared to eating inside, utilities, gas prices, medium income, property taxes, commuting, and finally childcare costs. All right, let's talk about the rental prices. So rental prices improve the cost of living in Langley. The rental market in Vancouver is incredibly expensive. The average price for a one-bedroom apartment in Vancouver recently topped $2,150. Given the median income in 2015 of households in Vancouver is only $72,000, this means that a one-bedroom will cost approximately 36% of your pre-tax income. So if you factor income taxes into the equation, then the percentage probably climbs to about 50% or more, and multi-bedroom apartments are even more expensive. So in short, apartments within the city of Vancouver limits have quickly become unaffordable for the average family. So the cost of living in Langley is much lower in this regard. It's 50% less. The average cost of a one-bedroom in Langley is $1,075, and for a two-bedroom, it's at $1,450. That's significantly more affordable as it represents 18% and 24% of pre-tax household income respectively. So the cost of living in Langley is low when it comes to house prices. Langley, British Columbia has comparatively affordable housing, especially in the condo market. The average price for a Langley condo is $400,000. That includes all bedroom types, from one-bedroom ones to three-bedroom units. Townhomes are also remarkably inexpensive in Langley, running for approximately $585,000. Assuming a down payment of 20%, this would result in a monthly payment of $1,500 to $2,200 a month. Now, detached homes, on the other hand, in Langley, British Columbia, are quite a bit more expensive than condos. Currently, the average price sits at $1.4 million. Even with a significant down payment, single-family homes are pricey. But as we will see, it's still much better than Vancouver. So by contrast, Vancouver has an incredibly high cost of living. The average price for a condo is nearly double at $787,000. Townhomes are also effectively double at $1.2 million. The average detached home costs approximately $2.2 million. Therefore, when it comes to housing prices, homes in Langley are around 50% cheaper than locating within the Vancouver city limits. All right, let's talk about the grocery cost. So for groceries, living outside of Vancouver will almost invariably save some money. The food you buy in Langley, BC is approximately 4% lower than what you find in Vancouver. Overall, prices are relatively affordable and reasonable, and with what you could find throughout most of Canada. So milk, bread, and eggs are all affordable for the most part. There are a few staple items that cost a little bit more, like cheese, but in general, you'll find that your dollar goes further towards food in Langley than any other major metro areas like Vancouver or Toronto. All right, let's talk about the dining costs. Langley is home to some remarkable good restaurants. Some of the top rated restaurants in the area, like Cactus Club, Chirag's Grill, or even the Indian Affair. So they receive well over 4 stars in Google Maps. So whether you find yourself in the mood for Chinese, Italian, or Indian, or any other ethnic variety of food, Langley will have what you're craving for. Fortunately, for people living in the region, dining out isn't that expensive. A meal at an inexpensive restaurant will be under $20. A meal for two at a beautiful place will still likely be under $100. It's about on par with Vancouver region in general. All right, let's talk about utilities. So BC Hydro has fixed rates throughout the province. So there's no difference when it comes to electricity, no matter where you live in British Columbia. So BC is reasonably competitive when compared to other regions within Canada. While the rates are not as cheap as some provinces like Alberta, different areas like Ontario have higher rates than BC. So they're right in the middle. Now, Numbeo estimates that the cost of necessary utilities for a 915 square foot apartment in Langley would be around $96 compared with $90 for Vancouver. So that's only a 7% difference. So it's reasonably safe to assume that the cost of living in Langley in this respect will be quite similar to that of the city of Vancouver. Gas prices. So gas in BC is of course expensive when compared to the rest of Canada. And unfortunately, Langley is no exception to this. Now, we are going through a epidemic here with the COVID virus, and the gas prices have come down to around 90 cents per liter compared to Toronto, for example, it's around 75 cents per liter. So it's a little bit more expensive in BC, and that's known fact throughout the world. So let's talk about the median income. So the last census revealed that Vancouver's median income is $72,000. According to Townfolio, the median income in Langley is significantly higher at $90,000. So that figure means that you'll receive more money to live in an overall cheaper place. All right, let's talk about property tax rates. So property tax rates in Langley are higher than Vancouver, but low compared with some of its sibling cities. Langley residents will pay $3.58 per thousand compared to Vancouver residents who pay $2.56 per thousand of home value. While this is higher, it is still lower than Maple Ridge, for which Maple Ridge pays $4.40 per thousand of value. So given that property prices in Langley can be about 50% of that of downtown Vancouver, you'll save a significant amount of tax savings. So for example, at a $400,000 average condo in Langley, the estimated property tax will be about $1,400 yearly. And by contrast, an average home in Vancouver, a condo is $787,000, which has a tax bill of $2,000. Of course, that discrepancy increases for semi-detaches and detached homes. So even though Langley's property tax rate is higher in terms of the price per thousand of value, since homes in Langley are much more affordable, people who live within Langley's border pay less in property tax overall. All right, let's talk about commuting. So living in Langley will involve a commute. Even if you find work within Langley itself, you'll still likely need a car to get around, as the region is pretty vast. So this means you probably will have more than one or more vehicles into your cost of living calculations. So you need to factor in car insurance, gas, maintenance. Of course, if you want to have a car, regardless of whether you're in Vancouver or Langley, then you need to account for these costs anyways. And in Langley, there is no SkyTrain yet. So assuming you work in downtown Vancouver, you'll usually have to factor in the cost of commuting via car. So you can take one of the trains into Vancouver, but you'll likely need to park your car at one of the stations and take the train from there. No matter how you look at it, expect to pay about $10 or so in gas and 1 hour each way to get to and from downtown in the peak rush times. All right, let's talk about childcare costs. So sadly, Vancouver has one of the most expensive childcare costs in the country. It currently costs $1,400 per month to put an infant into daycare in the city. While there is talk from politicians about making that number much more affordable, it's unlikely to happen anytime soon. So Langley is quite a bit cheaper. You'll not likely have to pay over $1,000 per month in childcare. The average rate, according to Numbeo, is about $800 per month for childcare in Langley. So Langley is quite a bit more affordable than in Vancouver. You'll find a lower cost of living in Langley than in many parts of the greater Vancouver area. The most significant saving by far will be when it comes to buying a house. You can easily buy a house for 50% or less what it costs for comparable property in the city of Vancouver. Even rents are quite a bit less expensive in Langley. Overall, you'll find the cost of living in Langley to be around what you would expect to pay for a city that's only 45 kilometers away from Vancouver. Not dirt cheap, but quite manageable. So if you have a household income nearly halfway mark for Langley, then you will be able to lead a reasonably comfortable life. You will live a much higher quality of life on that income when compared with other major metro areas in Canada, like Vancouver, Toronto, or Montreal. If you're looking for a place that's cheaper than Vancouver, speak with me today so we can see if Langley might be a good fit for you. Again, my name is Solomon and I'm a local real estate agent, and I would love to help you out. And again, we get dozens and dozens of people reaching out to me and our team daily. So you can text us, call us, or email us, or visit our website at searchbcrealestate.com and text us at 778-655-7999. Again, don't forget to subscribe. We do tons of videos and we look forward to hearing you on the next one.